The appointed religious leaders, the council, are the ones with power and connection. These are the Sadducees, I believe. Jesus is not impressed with their power. He makes little comment when questioned. Pilate is amazed when Jesus didn't defend himself. He knew how people usually acted. Jesus was set apart from the typical. Pilate has no problem calling Jesus the King of the Jews. He has wisdom in the situation, understanding the envy of the Jewish leaders. Yet, Pilate's wisdom is human wisdom. He acts in self-preservation and wants to satisfy the crowd. He didn't want a riot on his hands. He didn't want the blame. Pilate had Jesus whipped to the point of ripping off his flesh. Jesus was so beaten that he didn't have the strength to carry his own cross. He doesn't leave us to carry our own cross either. He will carry the burden if we give it to him. In Mark's Gospel, we get the note that Simon of Cyrene was compelled to carry Jesus' cross for him, and that his sons were Alexander and Rufus. Greet Rufus is something Paul says in the end of his letter to the Romans. I like to think it's this Rufus. There are two scenes of mocking in this chapter. Jesus is mocked as king, and he's mocked as savior. The chief priests and scribes mock, even saying, "He saved others." They recognized he saved others. Why would they want to kill someone who saved others? They weren't caring about others. They were caring for self. They wrongly assert that Jesus can't save himself. He had all power and authority. He could have gotten down from the cross and called down fire from heaven on those who had crucified him. Jesus wasn't thinking of how to save himself. He was thinking of obeying the Father and loving others. When you are faced with a trial, a desperation, what are your thoughts on? Do you start plotting to save yourself, or do you ask the Father what obedience looks like in that situation? One command to obey when you are in trouble is to be still. Stop. Look to Jesus and see your salvation.